Championship's worth £52 million that are all set to become free agents this summer. Many clubs will already be turning their attentions to the summer transfer window, even with another month of the campaign still remaining. And despite many not knowing for certain which league they will be competing in next term, it will not stop them trying to nab a bargain in the free agent market. Last summer saw plenty of championship sides stick to this tried and tested method, with the financial impact of the COVID pandemic still crippling clubs' abilities to spend. This summer could well be the same. With that in mind, we've put together a side full of players that could effectively be picked up for free, and it is a side that has a market value of more than £52 million, according to respected industry site Transfermarkt. England goalkeeper Sam Johnstone was the subject of much interest last summer, but he ended up sticking with recently relegated West Brom. Many thought the Baggies would seal an instant return to the top flight, but they're down in 12th and look a long way off the playoffs. Johnstone will be eager to get back to the Premier League to boost his England chances. Baggies chief Steve Bruce recently said of his situation, "The biggest disappointment for me is that he is out of contract. However, it's football these days, it's something that has been going around for years. We're probably going to lose our biggest asset on a Bozeman free transfer, which is not great." Alfie Mawson joined Fulham for £20 million in 2018, but he has failed to live up to that price tag and is today valued at £3.6 million. He's made just 48 league appearances in that time and was even loaned out to Bristol City last term. He has made just 8 appearances for the Cottagers this term, and perhaps a fresh start is just what needs. Cardiff's Sean Morrison, valued at £3.15 million, is another centre-half nearing the end of his deal. Morrison is currently on the sidelines after rupturing his anterior cruciate ligament, and despite being a hugely experienced figure at this level, he is likely to need extensive rehab time. 2 full-back options for teams shopping in the free agent market are Birmingham's Christian Pedersen, £2.7 million, and Derby's Lee Buchanan, £2.25 million. Both have been regulars, with 60 championship outings combined. Jed Wallace, £6.3 million, has been a class act for many years at this level, but the Millwall man's current deal has just months to run. He has chipped in with 9 assists this season, only 5 players in the division have more. "If I've got 5 minutes or 5 years on my contract, judge me on what you see on the pitch," said Wallace earlier this year, after murmurings of outside interest. His loss would be a huge blow to Millwall. Another valuable midfielder nearing the end of his current deal is Reading's John Swift, £5.4 million. The 26-year-old is joint top of the assists chart with an impressive 13 so far. His 11 goals in a struggling Royals side mean he is almost certain to attract plenty of admirers. Jean-Michel Seri, also £5.4 million, has featured prominently for Fulham, but the 30-year-old has been loaned out twice before and may fancy a fresh start in the summer. Ben Brereton Diaz is arguably one of the hottest properties in the championship, and that is reflected by his market value of £9 million. However, his deal with Blackburn is close to expiring. But crucially, Rovers have an option to extend it by only an extra year. It effectively means they can drive a harder bargain for a player who has 20 goals this season rather than lose him for free. Fabio Carvalho, £3.15 million, is another Fulham player who is nearing the end of his current contract. The talented forward came mightily close to joining Liverpool in the January window, but it collapsed at the 11th hour on deadline day. The Reds are expected to sign the youngster in the summer. As he is under the age of 24, Premier League rules state that Liverpool would be required to pay compensation to the Cottagers if they sign him at the end of his contract, but that is expected to be a fraction of what Fulham could have requested in January. Tom Lawrence is another attacker who rival championship clubs were looking at in January. The Rams skipper has been crucial to their fight to stay up against a host of off-field issues. He's scored 10 goals so far, and his £4.5 million market value is more than justified. With Derby's problems likely to mean they're unable to extend his stay, Lawrence could become one of the most sought-after free agents this summer.